Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Right Stuff here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Have a great segment that's coming up for you guys today, so I appreciate you all being with us. Judas, hello to you. I see you over there on the Amazon side. Glad you could be with us. If you guys have not done so already, make sure you hit that follow button here on Amazon so you can stay connected with all of our programming. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. You will also see the book by our next guest. We're excited to welcome author Lovelace Cook to our broadcast today. She's written the book, Meet Me in Mumbai. You guys can see it there on Amazon, both the paperback and the Kindle edition. I got the paperback because that's my preference to be able to read. We're going to talk to Lovelace not only about the writing of the book, but also what it's been like for her to share her remarkable story with the world and the lessons she's been able to learn from around the world as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Lovelace, make sure you guys do put those in the comments section. We'd love to be able to bring those in as well. We are simulcasting this as well, so we welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter as well. Lovelace, thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate the time.
Cyrus, thank you. It's wonderful to have a chance to talk with you in person. Well, virtually anyway.
Right, exactly. It is amazing, Lovelace. In this book, and it's so funny, I should let our audience know, Lovelace didn't know I had gotten the book to read it. And so she was so nice, she was so generous to offer to send me one, and I sent her a message back showing her my book, said I've already gotten it and read it. And Lovelace, I'm so glad I did, because it's going to make this conversation so much better for our audience. I want to first of all ask you this. Writing is not new to you, but what was it like for you to hold Meet Me in Mumbai for the first time?
I was beyond excited. I just was so thrilled to hold the book, because it's a labor of love to get from the idea stage to your publication, the published version. So it was amazing, truly amazing.
Wasn't it an easy thing for you, Lovelace, to go back, not just in the travels of your life, but in the challenges of your life as well that you're able to share in the book?
It was not easy. It really wasn't, Cyrus. I felt like as I was doing the editing, especially the final edits, not just the final edits, but over time, the editing took me to places that were emotionally difficult. And I felt as if I needed to be honest. And I thought, my goodness, people are going to think I'm nuts. They're going to think, why did she do, why did you continue this? I thought the best thing to do is to be totally honest and transparent. And it's really frightening to do that. One section of the book in particular was very difficult. It was emotionally exhausting, and it took me a longer time to finish the edits on that.
And you are a person, Lovelace, people would not know it from you. If they've seen you on Facebook, you're always smiling. I saw that great photo of you with the book as well. But you have had some difficult moments in your life. You chronicle some of that in this book. But I was saying to you before we went live here that what stood out to me so much was not only your search for love, but also the search for self. Did you go into this book knowing that you were in many ways discovering who you really were and what mattered to you in the process?
Wonderful question. Thank you. I did not go into the book thinking that I was going to find myself. I thought I was writing about an adventure. I was just trying to get out of my comfort zone and grow, in another decade of my life. But overall, I can say that the editing of the book changed me more than just about any part of the journey itself, which was a complete surprise.
So I want to step back for a second, because you do talk about it in the book. And for those who have not gotten it for yourself, I definitely encourage you guys to get it. Again, for you guys joining us on Amazon, you'll see it right there on Amazon. You can be able to click on it, be able to get the paperback or Kindle edition. For those joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, you guys will see a link that will bring you guys over to Amazon to be able to get the book for yourself. And it really is, don't let the size, distract you, because you get into and you really get immersed in the way Lovelace wrote it. So I want to talk about your love of writing, because that does come out in the book. I'm actually going to read a passage a little bit later, Lovelace, that talks about that. When did you discover that for yourself? When did you discover the love you had for words?
Well, I wanted to write since I was a little girl. I used to tell stories, and stories about my brother and me in space. I mean, this goes back. So I sort of really, thank heaven for an imagination, though it kind of
Right.
drove my family crazy. Um, but I have been writing pretty much since I was 8 years old, and I have reams of material that probably no one will ever see, which is
Mm,
probably really good.
yeah. Yeah. I'm right there
But
with you, Lovelace, on that.
I know you're an author, you're a writer as well, so,
Yeah.
and a poet.
Yeah. But that is so funny that you say that, because your love of words and the way you tell this story is what draws us in. We feel like we're on this journey with you through the highs and the lows, I have to say. And I love something that you wrote in the book, and I'll go ahead and share this. For those who have the paperback edition, it's in chapter 11 of the book. And Lovelace is talking about, and you're having a conversation in this particular part of the book, Lovelace, about music and the power of music. And you say this as you're talking about it with Trevor. Hunter S. Thompson said, "I'm a word freak. I like words. I've always compared writing to music. That's the way I feel about good paragraphs. When it really works, it's like music." And then you say this, Lovelace: "I understood what he meant. Music transported and transformed us. When I wrote, I was transported to another place. I saw and heard what was going on around me, but the writing took me to my happy place where I felt fulfilled. I might have written garbage, but my intention was to write without trying to be perfect. I let go of control." And I think that is something that a lot of us can relate to, right? You want to be able to write in a way that people will get it. But what was it like for you just to let it go, just to be able to let the gift do what it's going to do?
It's a struggle because I wrote for business for many years. And in writing for clients, I had to really perfect it before I could even
Mm,
send a draft to a client. So, learning how to, I'm going to call it write messy, has been
mm,
one of the
love
greatest
that.
gifts, to let go of trying to be perfect, and even to ship the book, to go ahead and release the book, release the manuscript is letting go of control, because I have
Yeah.
no control over the reactions of anyone who reads it.
Hmm. Yeah. And I love that. And it is scary, right? It is scary. But isn't it rewarding, Lovelace, when someone says to you, as you've already been having, because I've seen the comments on Facebook, when people get it, when people appreciate it, doesn't it make it all worthwhile for you?
It does, and one thing that it really does. Um, it feels so affirming, which is a wonderful thing. The other flip side of that is, the book is not for everyone, and
Mm,
and having an emotional reaction, having your reader have an emotional reaction, whether positive or negative, is actually a good thing, though I haven't really embraced the negative reactions yet.
yeah, those aren't as easy to do, are they? I love that. Hello to you, Manswell. I see you over there on the Facebook side. He says hello to you as well. Lovely. So, Lovely, let's talk about that, because I want to commend you on social media. Social media can be a full time job. Believe me, I know personally. so, it is a lot to handle, but you have really embraced it. I don't know if you've done it kicking and screaming or not, but you've embraced, especially Facebook. So, what has that been like for you to touch people around the world just through that platform?
Oh, it's wonderful to me. I love the fact we are all one. I think about the
Yes.
Jimi Hendrix song "One Love,"
Hmm.
and it's the most important thing in the world. And through social media, but also through online groups, um,
Hmm.
I've just been fortunate to be able to meet people literally all over the world. I mean,
Hmm.
the young man who designed the book cover is in Romania.
Hmm.
So, um, person who helped me develop my website was in Glasgow. I'm not sure where he
Wow.
is now, but
Yeah.
just to be able to, what a world. I mean, what an incredible opportunity we have with
Mhm.
technology today, and having gone from no technology to what we have at our fingertips today is a miracle, and it's just a blessing.
Mhm. Such a great point. Ricardo Hayes, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over there on Facebook as well. I want to say I appreciate you guys coming in on the Amazon side as well. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Jafar. Jafar says, great live stream and brilliant presentation. Hats off to you, Lovelace. So appreciate that. Jafar, thank you so much for joining us on the Amazon side. And on YouTube, we have ESP Presents joining us. He says hello to you as well. And that's a great thing, again, I found too. And so for those who don't know, I want to kind of reset really quickly, Lovelace, and say, for those who are just coming in, welcome. You all are watching The Right Stuff here on Amazon Live primarily, but we are simulcasting this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Our guest today is author Lovelace Cook. We're talking with her about her powerful book, her memoir, Meet Me in Mumbai. You guys can get it there on Amazon. Both the paperback, as I got here, or the Kindle edition is available there. You'll see it either in this corner or down below for those joining us on Amazon. For those who are tuning in on the other platforms, you will see a link that will bring you over to Amazon. So we're talking to Lovelace about the writing of the book, sharing her story, but also what she was being able to learn about herself along the way. I want to talk about appreciation as well for you, Lovelace, because I was saying to you before we went live here, there were a couple of things that really stood out to me as I was reading it. Early on in the book, you were having some health issues, and you were able to show the difference in the cost of health care, outside of the United States, and how much less expensive your medication was there than in the U.S. But also your appreciation for people in the world too. The man that we met in the book who has no legs but is going about his business and no one's really paying attention. What was it like for you in your travels, Lovelace, to gain a new appreciation for life and all that you have?
Well, going back to the man with no legs, he didn't have prosthetics. He had managed to somehow attach flip-flops to the bottoms of his legs to walk. And I was in a restaurant, and he came in and sat at a table, and the waiters immediately brought over water and took his order. And I thought, my gosh, this person, how resourceful, how brave, how courageous. We are so fortunate in our country to have really good health care. Now, costs notwithstanding, because what you mentioned, one experience that I had, unfortunately, I got bed bugs on a train, and I had a highly allergic reaction. Ended up going to the hospital in Varanasi, India. I saw a dermatologist, and she prescribed medication. My ER room visit was $10, and my medication, which was pharmaceutically, it's what we pay for in the U.S., was $10. So, having that blew my mind. I think about the cost of healthcare here now and how unaffordable it is for so many people. And it's really, that is distressing.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, Lovelace, in that situation, you said you were telling who you were with, that would have cost you $150, I think, or something like that. You mentioned, in the
Just
state.
to go into,
Yeah.
just to go into the emergency room.
Yeah. And as someone like myself who has not traveled outside the country, I've been invited, but I have declined only because I tell people, let me get through the 50 states first. And then I'll travel outside the country. I still have about 30 more states to get to, Lovelace, before I start thinking about going outside. But I bring that up because I think people will feel like we're there with you as you're traveling and you're seeing the world. But I want to talk about beauty for a moment, because that's another thing that comes through in this book. Because a lot of times we hear about places and we don't necessarily think about the best things, right? When you were first thinking about Mumbai, did you go into it with a positive expectation?
I didn't have a clue what I was walking into. The expression "fools rush in."
Yeah.
Sadly, that kind of characterizes a lot of my life. And I go and just see what comes. And I really try to be flexible and adapt to whatever is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what was it like for you to see the way that life was? And I asked that question the way I do, Lovelace, because I love the fact that there was no complaining. right? There was just being able to go do what you needed to do, and people working together. That comes across in the book, and people just being seen as people. I think being seen, that's maybe the point I'm trying to make there. What was it like for you to see that there was no looking down on people? There was the idea of being there, just being equal as people.
Well, that's always been a position of mine, Cyrus. And, I think having an opportunity to talk with people wherever I was, and especially young backpackers who are going, who are searching for themselves. It was really refreshing to be able to talk with them and listen to their dreams and aspirations and find commonalities. And uh, I hope I've answered the question. I may have gotten
Yeah.
off on a tangent
No,
there.
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you're fine. And I think that's the beautiful thing. And I love it that it was even in little things. I had made a note of another passage in chapter 20 of the book Lovelace, where you had talked about the stone wall there, and there was a dedication on the bench, and how the words just brought tears to your eyes.
Oh
Of
gosh.
a husband writing about his wife. Talk to us about things. That's what I mean about that appreciation. Talk to us about what it
Well,
was like for you to see those little things like that.
first of all, we were talking about Mumbai, and
Mhm.
throughout India, I was just amazed at finding little altars draped in marigolds in unexpected places. And there was tremendous beauty there, I felt. Um, one morning, seeing a horseman riding across the Ganges in Varanasi, riding on a beach across things like that. I pay attention to detail. So for
Yeah.
me, it's so rich. It's just so the beauty of our world is extraordinary, and not just people, but the places as well. Going into the foothills of the Himalayas in McLeod where the Dalai Lama has his residence, the mountains, the foothills of the Himalayas are spectacular, just overwhelmed, breathtaking, and seeing eagles flying against that backdrop was just such a wonderful, memorable experience for me.
Mhm. So, as you went to Mumbai, and for our audience out there who may be thinking about, maybe going to visit a place or being able to discover a place, it's so interesting coming full circle with you now with this, Lovelace, because could you have imagined what you would come back with? Exactly what you were just saying there. Could you have imagined that the trip would be so much more than what you could have expected?
No, no, not at all. Cyrus, it was, I experienced culture shock on the way in and culture shock coming back to our country, which
Mm,
was phenomenal to me. And in many instances, I had no idea how much writing the book, and especially editing the book and reflecting on the whole journey, would change me. And I keep saying that, but
mm,
it was astounding to me. And learning how to allow myself to be vulnerable, to present myself, to
yeah.
get out there and hope that, it's, I don't want to be judged, but I also didn't want to be dishonest. I wanted to be as transparent as possible. So I've left myself open for criticism in several
Yeah.
instances.
Yeah. But I think bigger than that, Lovelace, for myself as a reader, but you've also opened up the door for others to be vulnerable. I think so many times we feel like we have to put up a certain facade or face. What you've done in this book is really allow us to know it's okay to be who we are. The highs, the lows, the challenges, the difficulties, the loves and losses, and
Yes.
how we can be able to come out better on the other side. I think that is so much more relatable, right? Than trying to appear to be perfect. I think the world is getting to a place where we really want the real of people. So I want to ask you this question in connection with that. Is that your hope for people, though, that they will be able to, for one thing, to trust themselves? Because this journey would not have happened if you would not have trusted that you were able to do it. So, Is that what you hope readers take away, that no matter what they're going through, either physically or even emotionally, to trust themselves in the process?
Absolutely, to trust oneself, to listen to your heart, to listen to your instincts, and just it's there's so much noise in the world, and I think um, just to find that part of yourself where you're not second guessing decisions, and
Mhm.
to embrace your own strengths. And I think through my journey and through writing, I came out the other side so much stronger. Yes, I went through the good, the bad, and the perfectly dreadful, and there was love and there was loss. And learning to let go and to grow is a tremendous gift, and has given me so much strength. Just feeling the power that I feel like I have inside. So, yes, I would encourage people to be themselves. And it's frightening. But as we kind of, I think, understand what our desires are, that we can kind of start to move the people who are not good for us out
Mm,
of the picture. We don't
yeah.
have to. We don't have to endure.
Yeah. That is such a good point, Lovelace. That is such a good point, and we deserve that. We
Yes,
deserve to have the best for ourselves, and I think that goes back to the permission, giving yourself permission to know that, and sometimes that means letting go. That means letting go of what doesn't serve us very well. This show is
precisely.
called The Right Stuff, Lovelace. So I have to ask you then your writing advice for others out there. I'm sure you probably have already had some of your friends or people who found you online ask you about the writing process. What advice do you normally give, especially when it comes to writing a book so personal like this?
Well, I would really encourage people who are working on their memoirs to really delve deep and show show their truth. This is gonna may sound a little strange, but uh, I have been really interested in the scientific knowledge about our neural pathways. That if we write in all honesty, we change our neural pathways. It's the brain is not we and through our changes, we change our behavior.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing. Also, I think in writing a memoir, it's best to find a slice of life rather than the whole, from birth to death. Of course, if you want to write that, great. But I think if you're looking for audiences to really delve into parts of one's life, it's a good idea to just select something that's really profound or that is really important to you to write about.
Love that. What a great conversation with you, Lovelace. See how the time just flies by?
It's been great,
Well, look,
Cyrus. I
I,
love
I have
talking with you.
Look, I've definitely enjoyed it as well. So for our audience out there, make sure you guys get your copy of Meet Me in Mumbai. It's available now here on Amazon. Again, you can get the paperback or the Kindle edition. Both of them are available there. You can get the paperback as I did for 19.99, or you can get the Kindle edition right now for $9.95. You can see it either here in this corner or down below. So make sure you guys get your copy and share it with your friends. For those who are tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, you will see the link that will bring you over to Amazon to be able to get the book for yourself. And Lovelace, where can our audience go to stay connected with you?
My website address is Lovelace, that's Lovelace, Cook, Cook, that's all together.com. And I would love to have people visit the website, send me emails through the website, or contact me, let me know what they think. I have invited, even in writing the book, a preface where I ask people to please get in touch and let me know if I've gotten things incorrect, if I've offended inadvertently. So I'm also on Facebook, Instagram. I spend a little bit more time on Facebook because a lot of the other authors whom I enjoy and like to promote are there on Facebook. There's just so much time in a day, and
I know. Exactly. I totally understand that, Lovelace. Totally understand. Well, look, it goes without saying. You're welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to our next conversation together.
Thank you. Thank you, Cyrus. Thanks so
You're
much.
welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning into this episode of The Right Stuff. Make sure you guys join us again where we have another great author sharing their author's journey and also encouraging you all along the way. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.